Hello, property nomads. Hope you are doing well. We're going to look at a mainstream media article about is now a good time to invest in gold. For those of you that have watched the YouTube channel before or indeed listened to aspects of Property Nomads podcast, you'll know what my answer is. And the answer is absolutely you should look to invest in gold. Although I'm not an independent financial advisor, please don't take my advice about anything. But looking at this article, we're going to dissect and see what more of the mainstream media make of the wonderful metal. Two words of caution. Number one, for some reason, in the apartment complex I'm in at the moment, a couple of the dogs are literally barking mad. So if you hear dogs barking in the background, that is that. Secondly, our friends over at Progressive Property are running their flagship multiple streams of property income event. It's in Peterborough, about an hour's drive or train journey north of London. It's Friday the 20th of October to Sunday the 22nd of October, completely free to go to. Aaron and I have done it many times before. There's many property strategies to learn. It's great networking as well, and it is a really wonderful 3-day event. The link for that is in the description below. Go and check it out and head over to Progressive Property for their multiple streams of property income event. So this comes from the Week UK. The Week's actually a really good magazine. The Week and Money Week is something Aaron and I do read. So we are very familiar with this magazine, and they're normally on point. But let's go through the article and see what they say about is now a good time to invest in gold. So there's renewed tensions in the Middle East, as you know, we've all seen in the last few weeks, and they're not going to go away anytime soon. And that has sent the gold price up because of fears of an economic fallout among investors. Cost at the time of recording, the cost of the precious metal hit a fresh weekly high of $1,860. It's about £1,540, give or take. And that's supported by a cautious market mood, apparently. Why do people look at gold? Well, investors typically flock to so-called safe haven assets at times of rising geopolitical risk. That comes from Reuters, and this trend has played out since the attack on Israel by the Hamas group. Now, I'm not going to get into Israel and Palestine and all that sort of stuff. It's none of my business. The point is, we need to look at why investors go to gold. Interestingly, rising geopolitical risk. Now, this all started. People started, I think, looking at gold a lot more in late 2019, 2020, and we all know the show, the show we've been in the last 3 and a bit years, and these tensions are going to continue to rise globally for a multitude of factors. So reasons like this is one of the reasons why people do look at gold. They say, the article continues, the gold price is expected to continue climbing. More people may be considering adding the yellow metal to their portfolios. My opinion is you should already have some as part of your portfolio, and really the price doesn't really make a difference at the moment. It's about the value of the gold. What else drives the gold price? So as a rule of thumb, the gold price rises when there is uncertainty or negativity in other areas of the market. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes as a result of geopolitical instability. Yep, and sometimes gold falls when growth is strong. Yeah, the market data over the years shows that normally that is the case. It's not always the case, but normally that is the case. A weakening of the US dollar can also send prices up. Yes, absolutely, because obviously the nominated value in dollars will go up if the dollar, or to be fair, any other fiat currency gets weaker. And good monsoons, whatever that means, the affected countries invest more of their wealth and influence global prices. So a weakening of the US dollar can also send prices up. Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with that. So sometimes it isn't the fact that gold is going up in price. It's some gold commentators will say it's not necessarily that gold is going up, it's that the fiat currency is going down. works in tandem. Beyond economic and political events, a sudden change to the supply or demand of gold will influence the price, said the Royal Mint. Yep, Nomads, as we say in Mexico. Absolutely, supply and demand is crucial in this. The price also tends to rise when interest rates are low or inflation is high, as, and I quote, paper money may lose value, leaving gold with a stronger purchasing power, end quote. Absolutely could not agree more with this. Although the bit about supply or demand of gold is a bit common sense, as I would like to say. Yes, the price also does tend to rise when interest rates are low or inflation is high. And we are going through a relatively high inflation period at the moment. That might subsidize a little bit, but then, as I said before, we might have a second wave of inflation. We then might have a third wave of inflation that pops up at some point. Watch this space, basically. Gold is a very interesting thing. I do think that you should have it as part of your portfolio. People will normally recommend to have it at 10% of your net worth or your portfolio, but that is completely up to you. As I said at the start, I'm not an IFA. Don't listen to a word of what I say with regards to that. I'm not here to offer advice. Aaron and I always say that you should at least do your homework about why you should want to look at that asset class. Gold is no different. The article continues on how to buy gold. There's multiple ways to buy gold. We're not going to go into that in this video. What I would say is, if you want to buy gold, please email me, rob@tpmpodcast.com, and just put gold purchase in the in the heading of the email, and then I'll know what it's about. And I could point you in the right direction of a couple of people that I know that operate very, very, very well. They're incredibly reliable as well. So email me, rob@tpmpodcast, to find out how to buy gold or to get a recommendation. And that applies to silver as well. And then finally, pros and cons of investing in gold as per the article. So investing in gold brings the crucial benefit of portfolio diversification, said the Times Money Mentor, which means holding assets that move in price independently and differently from each other. Again, I'm not an IFA. I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Some people love diversification in their portfolio. Some people don't. Completely up to you. There are also tax advantages at the time of recording this of purchasing bullion coins. We've covered this in podcast episode before. So basically, in a nutshell, if you buy bullion coins, so i.e. a Britannia, which is 1 ounce, or a sovereign, which is 1/4 ounce, at the time of recording, if you buy Britannias, specifically Britannias and sovereigns, and you are a UK resident, and you purchase it in the UK, they are exempt from capital gains tax. That is a wonderful tax benefit that we get in the UK. Again, that's correct at the time of recording. Gold normally can bring, and I quote, stability to your portfolio. Precious metals typically preserve and even increase their value, end quote, when other assets are struggling. Yeah, absolutely. So there are plenty of advantages to gold. It can also help to protect wealth, without a shadow of a doubt. The one negative of gold, if people often criticize it, is that it doesn't do much. Secondly, is it doesn't produce a yield, so or a dividend. Sorry, I should say. Yes, that is correct. You know, if you go and buy physical gold, it doesn't produce dividend. Absolutely not. So you won't be collecting 4 or 5% on that, per annum or whatever. Can it generate large profits? Absolutely. But you've got to understand, and you've got to figure out why you're buying it in the first place. Are you buying it for wealth generation? Are you buying it for to pass down to your family? Are you buying it because you just don't trust the financial system? Are you buying it because of all this global crap that's going on? You've got to ask that question and then figure it out from there. As I said at the start, I've said again, I'm not an IFA. Please don't take my advice about anything related to gold. What I can say, though, to you is, if you're looking at buying gold, looking at buying silver, email me, rob@tpmpodcast.com. And there are a couple of people out there that I've have used, and I know that work really well, and they're very reliable, etc., etc. So I can certainly give you a recommendation. Please do email me. Hopefully, all of that does pay off for you. So what that article is looking at, it's looking at a lot of things that I would say, and the week seems to be saying that actually, yeah, do your own homework, but gold is probably a decent time to buy. Of course, always the best time to buy something was yesterday. But again, you've got to ask yourself, with all this instability, etc., is that going to continue moving on? Chances are that is probably going to happen, but ultimately the decision is yours. Thank you very much. Use that notification bell to keep up to date with when new videos are released. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. The more people that are listening to this message, the better it is for global society. See you in the next video.